So last night's full moon was beautiful, and today is June 29th, 2026, and I went to a drum circle last night and was able to see the moonrise over Flagler Beach. And in all the years that I have lived in Florida, I'd never been to Flagler Beach. So it was the perfect night to see a full moon and experience the beach. And it was so beautiful and clean, and it was nice. So the drum circle was awesome too. I just I've been making it a point to put myself out there and go to things in my area, even if I have to go by myself. And this was one of those events where I went and did that. So it was a drum circle for the moonrise and all that. And uh, long story short, I was able to meditate and really reflect. And it's been a long time since I've really connected back with that side of myself. I would say it was something I was really into like 4 years ago, 4 or so years ago. I wouldn't say like I've fully like left, moons, like full moon celebrations and things of that nature, but I was able to pull out my own drum and all of that and just head out and have a good time. So, with that said, it's been a while since I have really felt strong messages in my spirit. And I guess what you would call just channeled messages. So I'm just gonna hop into the feelings and just thoughts and things that have been really coming through lately. And as I've been talking to others, they've been feeling the same way too. So I figured, why not? Let me just share here. So the first thing is I have been something fell. I don't know if you heard it, but into like shadow work. Shadow work has been something that I've really been diving back into again. I would say that, yeah, with that said, as I'm saying this out loud, because there's no script or anything right now, I'm just really just off the top of the head right now. I shouldn't say off the top of the head, from the heart. I'm coming from the heart right now. But I feel like this full moon, I've really felt a big shift in going back to things that I had been into a while ago. Like they're all coming back, like full circle. Like some type of cycle has completed and whatnot. And I'm not too into the astrology and all that, but I just pretty much say it's a full moon. I look at the fact that the summer solstice was last week, so we're just coming off of that. And as the earth shifts into a new season, so do we, And if we really take the time to reflect and really reflect on how the changes in the seasons are showing up in our own life. So with that said, shadow work has been really big. And I have been working on, for one, feeling emotions after being numb for so long. This book right here, Julia Rose, she referred me to this book, The Power of Focusing. I won't dive too deep into it, but if you're into that type of thing about it's like a meditation, I host those over in my school group, so check those out if you want to go more into that. But anyway, so that book got me really back into just really feeling my own emotions without judgment. And then what was the other point? So with that, it kind of brought about this, what I call an existential crisis, like the modern day existential crisis, where it goes something like this. We have all this access to food, more than we've ever had, but there's no nutrients. Or we have all this money and all these resources, yet there's no, I want to say, cure for homelessness. You know, all this food and there's still hunger. All these homes, there's still homelessness. What else? Oh, a big one that my friends and I were talking about the other day is how you can have these celebrations and get-togethers and go on trips and, you know, hang out, but there's no friendship. You know, and that's one of those ones where you kind of have to go through it to know what I mean. Uh, where it's like we're hanging out, we're spending all this time together, and we're confiding in each other, but we're not really like friends like that. Same thing with even, you know, relationships where there's intimacy, there's sex, you know, you want communication, you want consistency, you're, you know, wanting the whole 9 yards, but there is no love, there is no future. I feel like I could keep going. That's what I call like an existential like crisis thing. Where I felt like no matter what I looked at, like that, it was like seeing the contradiction in everything that I looked at. Uh, so with that said, it made me realize specifically what would be like how to know like what is actually important. And time, like your time is really your only commodity, the only real commodity. And I feel like people say that, but have you really internalized what that means? It means that wherever you put your attention and your energy is what is utilizing, what's spending up your time. And to think of like your time as your currency. And it's really a currency that you don't know how much you have left of. You know, it's like with money in the bank, you should be able to like check it on an app or even money in your pocket. You can at least pull that out and count it and know. But with your time, you can't do that. So at this time, we're just getting really serious about, you know, what types of ways, in what ways are you wasting your greatest commodity, or how are you spending it? Just being reflective on what's going on there. And a way that I like to look at it is like the things that block and get in the way of, you know, my health, my family, you know, my joy, you know, my finances. At that point, I look at like what it's costing me and if it's worth spending the time on it, right? So that's what I got there. I didn't want this to be too long. I just wanted to express what was going on underneath this full moon. All right. Good talking to you, and I'll see you in the next one.